Hey everyone, our most recent word of the week was one of my favorites of all time, communication. That's what I went to school for. And I actually am one of the few people that worked in the field for which I was educated. And this past week, I actually did a seminar, How to Be Heard Without Screaming. It was quite popular. I think a lot of us feel like the teacher in the Peanuts cartoons where it's wah, 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 and you feel like nobody hears you. And when I used to be a TV reporter and an anchor, I learned some of the tactics reporters use to get information out, and also on the flip side, learned tools that you can use so that your message gets across. And so I'm going to share a few of those with you today. I know it's a little departure from our normal Sunday morning message, but we often don't get to the point. We meander around the point, or we shroud our point with language like, you've probably already thought about this, but I'll just throw this out there. We sort of pad our point with protection mechanisms in the event that our idea is rejected. What's the worst that can happen? You could just come out and say it. But don't just come out and say it, then support it with a story to support what you're trying to say. And then give examples of how your point has worked elsewhere, and then reinforce your point again at the end. It's a point sandwich. Many people say, well, that's great in a professional environment, but I get all choked up when I'm in an argument with my husband or my wife. And the truth is, any important conversation should never be winged. If it's really important, you should have a plan for that conversation. Think about it in advance. Think about what you want the end result to be, and then reverse it back from there. It's actually called reverse engineering your message. Think about what you want the outcome to be. That way you know at the end of the, have you ever been in a conversation and it's over and it's like, I don't even know if that went well. No, you can reverse engineer your conversation and support it by anticipating pushback. One of the fatal errors we make in communication is we don't think about what the other person is going to say in protest or criticism. Always think about it in advance. That way you can have answers at the ready for it, and you won't be rattled by pushback. Pushback is just a part of the experience. So in my presentation, How to Be Heard, I used HEARD to help you. H, have a plan. E, edit yourself. Break it down so you can get to that point and there's a clear takeaway. Have a plan, edit yourself, anticipate pushback. Then repeat yourself if necessary. Don't get upset if you have to say it more than once. How many times did your parents have to tell you to take the trash out before you finally did? In fact, it's been proven that people need to hear things 5, 6, 7 times before they actually get it. So have a plan, edit yourself, anticipate pushback, repeat yourself if necessary. And number 5 is the golden rule. Demonstrate that you have listened. Because if you will give people the courtesy of listening to them, then they're more likely to return the favor. It's interesting, I call it the golden rule, and the best way to exemplify this is when someone says something, repeat it back to them. I think what I heard you say was, am I correct? Then people can know that they've been heard, and even better, you have clarity. There's no miscommunication because you thought they said something and they actually said something completely different. So that is your communication tip for the week, how to be heard without screaming. Screaming just takes up a lot of energy. Energy is precious. We need to protect it. So what's a word that we can hang our hat on for the next couple of weeks? Expansiveness. I always say I want to be a bigger person, not physically, but my soul. I want to be a bigger person. And I've been doing a study of not taking things personally. It's one of the 4 agreements, one of my favorite books of all times. Do not take things personally. And I think what happens is when we take things personally, it's because we think the world revolves around us, that everything is always about us, when you don't realize that the other person may have had a really bad morning and their mood and how they're responding to you has nothing to do with you. It's their own story. Being the bigger person means giving other people the benefit of the doubt. And I get so gotten when I get offended by the way someone reacts to me or ignores me, or, it's like, hello, I'm here. But the truth of the matter is, if I give people the benefit of the doubt, I am a bigger person. I am more expansive. And I think that's what we're all hoping for in the world today, is a little less touchiness and a lot more big-hearted, generous expansiveness. So our mission for the next couple of weeks, try not to take things too personally and try to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. Oh, and in the final analysis, give yourself the benefit of the doubt too. Sure, did you screw up? Probably. Did you mean to? No. Did you learn something from it? Yes. Ta-da! Ain't no big deal. Have a great week, everybody.